are playing for fun, or they will start to struggle further on. But let's find out. Akron taking on Ohio State, or the Ohio State. Gentlemen, let's get it.
And we talked about it when Akron were on stream earlier. We don't feel like they've been truly tested just yet. So we'll see if Ohio State, the B squad, can put that run together. The shot by Reticence immediately blocked by Sunnyside. And Sleppy looking to dribble it out. He has a flick out, but it's saved by Salty Popsicle and followed up by Reticence.
And something that Akron was working on, they said it yesterday in their interview, was that Buzz, you know, he didn't want to be overcommitting as much and not having him run around like a psychopath sometimes and getting up and getting in the face of players, and be more of a holistic rotating team and everyone getting involved and making sure that that rotation stays clean. It's something that's very hard to break down, especially for a team like Ohio State here. And if you can do it, you're going to have success over Akron, but it's tough to come out and do it right off the bat.
And Akron had done that. Buzz had been much more holistic in his approach to the pitch, to use your words, Corelli, but that's a huge chance for the Buckeyes to score. Masseter not able to put the ball into the net. Salty Popsicle moving this ball down the field. And the Buckeyes, they may want that one back still. The offense hasn't been nothing really to sniff at yet for Akron. Ohio State have definitely held their own in the first minute and a half of gameplay. But Buzz, quick shot, and he gets it right up top. Going to be hard for Masseter to save, and Akron take the first lead.
Lots of space downfield, and Sunnyside not the best touch. Masseter doesn't really have much to work with there, kind of lost in between the shot and the net. On the far side, Buzz had a lot to choose from there, and he rips it. And Akron on the board first.
Akron are just going to get goals like this. It's a shootout every time. The Ohio State just have to say, you know, we expected this. They found the opportunity earlier on. Let's see if they can close if they get the next one.
Oh, Buzz with a nice dunk. And that's not a good touch either off the backboard here. Salty Popsicle's already in the air. He had the touch towards the net, but it's saved by Masseter. Buzz trying to find a touch. He actually forces the challenge out. It bought Reticence plenty of time to really figure out how he's going to attack this ball, but he ends up giving up possession that turned into a passing play, went awry. Akron, hold on. And a crack pass from Reticence back to Buzz, he just misses.
It's one of those opportunities for Ohio State that aren't going to arise too often here from this Akron squad. Giving up a free shot there in the middle of the field, you can't miss it. You've got to at least make someone on the goal line make the save there. The opportunity doesn't go through for Ohio.
Sleppy in the corner. Buzz makes another good challenge. Has to force back here for Reticence. Sleppy, no boost here in midfield, just trying to buy some time, maybe win a challenge here against Salty Popsicle. He does effectively, and now Masseter with no boost, looking for his teammate. He finds him, and they bought a lot of time. Sunnyside here for the Buckeyes, playing it out to the corner. They're still just trying to force the issue. Masseter up for the pass from Sleppy. He has the double touch. He off the crossbar, followed up off the crossbar twice. No goal for the Buckeyes. They missed 3 quality opportunities to tie this game up.
And I don't even have to say it at this point. You've got to put away your chances if you're Ohio State, and that was a huge one in front of the net. A big miss from really everyone on the team there. And Akron get away scot-free. Maybe a goal to put salt in the wound there from Buzz. 2-goal lead now for Akron.
The Ohio State, they are finding the opportunities. They just need to close. This could technically be 3-2 right now. They had 3 solid opportunities. They cannot get tilted by this. They have to play aggressive. They have to keep playing at this level.
And they were so panicky there. You saw 2 defenders on Ohio State just kind of fling themselves into the net and hope that the ball just bounced into them. And so that panic leads to almost a goal off the kickoff, but Sunnyside, what is that, 4 hits off the crossbar now? 1 just straight up missing earlier on. It hit off the crossbar in the post, so yeah, 4 off the crossbar.
Now Akron playing with 4 players on the field now at this point. The crossbar just blocking everything for the Buckeyes. Have not found the space in the net there. Masseter letting that one go through, and Buzz now has a chance on the breakout to Reticence. For Ohio State, still opportunity can arise here in the last minute. Only down by 2 goals, so the Zips haven't really put you down in the hole yet. But you got to go.
Yeah, they haven't put you in the hole, and they've also given you a lot of chances at the ball and all this space that they're affording you here in midfield, but they weren't able to follow it up with Sleppy. Salty Popsicle was able to just knock that one away. Masseter actually finds a dunk right there. The shot to Sunnyside is saved by Salty Popsicle. He was in the way. You saw Masseter try to cause some havoc on the line. No good. The Buckeyes forcing opportunities, and it's going to be an own goal.
It
Salty
hurts.
Popsicle gets credit for the goal, but Akron 3-0.
And you really do hate to see it when you're down by 2 goals, under a minute left, and then you accidentally own goal. You feel like all hope is lost here in game number 1 here. Ohio State, they've been played on offense and now feeling a little bit of the pain on defense with the own goal here. And it seems like all hope is lost.
Unlucky the game for the Ohio State. They do get on the board, 40 seconds. It is certainly possible.
Yeah, they didn't
but
hit
this
the
would be
post.
a tall climb.
Well,
They didn't hit the post this time.
I think they might have hit the post.
Oh, yes, they did.
They did hit the post.
They kept the streak alive.
This time getting into the net. And I mean, look, if the most glaring thing we can say about Ohio State after game 1 is just don't hit the crossbar, I think they're really in pretty good shape. And I would wager that they know that as well. And know heading into game number 2, it's just about hitting their shots on target and trying to eliminate the 4th man on Akron.
Yeah, and for the Zips, I would look back on this game and say this was not our best game. While they are going to get away with the win, you feel like Ohio State had a lot more chances on offense, generated a lot more scary chances on offense. Remember, one of the goals that Akron has is just an own goal from a mechanical stake on the defensive side of things. So for Ohio State, they have a lot of things to clean up on the offensive side, but for Akron, I'm a little bit more scared. They weren't able to really generate that great of offense. They give up, or they get another goal here. Ohio State kind of letting this ball go off their crossbar. The post, it hit the woodwork completely on both sides, up and down and across. Akron do put it away there with 1 second left, but for Ohio State, I have to feel like I can't let game number 1 really deflate the momentum that they have.
Not at
They
all.
just got to put the ball on target.
Yeah, and for Akron, they were giving so much space in midfield to Ohio State. And that's where a lot of those shots came from, is you see everyone on Akron setting themselves up on the back wall. No one was ready to challenge anything on the midfield line, and that's where the Buckeyes, that's where all their opportunities came from. They just couldn't execute. It's like, if Akron are going to give you the space and you don't punish them for it, then they're going to continue thinking that they're not doing anything wrong because you're not scoring the ball, even if the ball is bouncing off the crossbar. Akron really need to clean this up. They need to be more aggressive on defense, and somebody has to be able to challenge the Buckeyes on the midfield line. And I feel like we're harping on Akron a lot here. They won the game 4-1, but when you consider all the opportunities Ohio State missed, it really doesn't feel like it was that big of a lead.
Exactly. I mean, the theme of tonight has been there's a dominant team going up against a team it's very much an uphill climb for them. And the dominant team wins game number 1. But this feels very different because the Ohio State had enough opportunities by either way of a mistake, a mistouch, or just a play that they made themselves, but they're just not able to close. If they change just a little bit of an angle in some of those instances, they have that game. If they don't give up the own goal, they have that game. So Akron, I think we are talking about them a lot because this is not the performance we expected out of them, and the Ohio State is playing at a much higher level than many may have anticipated. Do you want to see them just continue on offense or focus more on defense going into game 2?
I think for Ohio State, keep the status quo. I think it was a fine game for them. They just got to put the ball away. Obviously, you take away their one own goal, it was a mechanical mistake. Okay. But that one mistake, if they were to score all their opportunities that they had, that one mistake was the worst thing that Ohio State did that entire game.
The Iowa State did a lot right. All they got to do now is close on these opportunities. Can they do that going into game number 2? Let's find out.
It starts off well for Ohio State off the kickoff. Coming in is Sunnyside, high off the backboard. Sleppy has this. It's challenged by Reticence. He has enough boost to keep following. And Buzz on the return back to Reticence. Undercut it too far. Didn't have enough boost to follow it up. Sunnyside and company will move back downfield. Here for the Buckeyes. And Masseter looking for that touch off the back wall. And Salty Popsicle picks this one up. And again, it's Ohio State with the early pressure here against Akron. But no shot registered just yet for the team. Sunnyside picks up that corner boost, puts Buzz in a tough spot to try to wrap that one around out. And still, the pass out, looking for Sleppy. He found him, a pass across. Sunnyside on the assist.
And that's the shot. That's the team play that we want to see out of the Buckeyes. Look at this pass from Sunnyside across the box. You can see Buzz real late on the challenge. The back post shot from Sleppy puts it away, and Ohio State on the board first.
Take note of this moment. This is the moment where the Ohio State says to themselves, we can actually win this series. That was a play of their own design, and they were able to execute on it. If they keep doing things like that, we got ourselves a series.
Oh, and almost finding the pick on the rebound was Salty Popsicle. It's off the corner and out now. But Buzz looking back for Salty Popsicle. He found him. This ball spending a lot of time in the orange corner. And a good pass out here if Masseter can make that touch, but was not able to. Allows Buzz to make the challenge out. And, well, that's a calculated pass to the opposing team to get it back, but Buzz picks it up.
Well, it was actually pretty good from a setter there. His third man got demoed in the backfield, so he was just trying to buy a little bit of time, and he's lucky Reticence gave the ball back to him across the net there. But good reading with the play, staying with it, knowing that when your third man gets demolished, you've got to make the play to just buy him time on the respawn.
Oh, and Buzz almost takes the shot. Just high. And Masseter looking to go for the pass on the Sunnyside. Sunnyside is there, broken up by Reticence. A little too close to him on that side. Sleppy just trying to buy some time here. He's able to find the challenge as well. Catches Akron too far up on the rotation. Salty Popsicle in a tough spot. Still not good enough. And Buzz has to be forced up to make a save here. He can't find the ball. It goes right back into him from Sunnyside. And Akron get away with one there.
Yeah, Sunnyside just put that ball to either side of Buzz and haven't come off the back wall. Sleppy was lying in wait, but all of a sudden it gets pinched and it goes in for Reticence. We got a tie game.
And so right here, Reticence picks up the first pass. Salty Popsicle is going to pick this up, and it just didn't expect Reticence to find the touch there. And he nailed it. Yeah. Boom.
And the Zips
goal.
Able to tie it up on an unorthodox way to score a goal, but they'll take it nonetheless. The Buckeyes kind of stunned after that one. So we go back into the kickoff.
Salty Popsicle. Oh, that one just got away from him. Masseter back to Sunny's side. I love the passing from the Buckeyes in game number 2. And they were trying to get it done in game number 1, and you know they were. It was just again putting the ball in the back of the net here. Sleppy almost had the read on it, and it's headed the other way. Masseter, he's not able to find the touch. That's a dangerous spot for the Buckeyes. Salty Popsicle took away the option from Buzz. It was hard to tell from that angle really who had the better angle. Salty Popsicle not wanting to risk the boomer back the other way.
It's a much better game here on defense for Ohio State. Really making Akron think about how they approach their attack. And you're seeing a lot more space now. Sleppy, great touch up towards the net. Reticence forced to go up, forces Sunnyside now to come in. The rotation working out for Ohio State, and the demolition on Salty Popsicle. Now Buzz able to pick up this ball, and the Buckeyes attack slowly fizzles out.
And Buzz bought all the time in the world for Akron to get reset. Akron still need to be a little bit careful on the offensive end. They're really getting sucked into their own offense and having to make acrobatic defensive efforts. That one has to go in for Buzz. He had an open shot at the net, and he was just wide. Reticence is over a couple defenders. Salty Popsicle gets a free look off the rebound. Buzz off the ceiling, up, down, no goal. 2 players in the net there for Ohio State for the save. Knocked away once again. And Buzz on the rotation, just going to take a pot shot at the net. Sunnyside looking for Masseter. He doesn't have him. Salty Popsicle back to Buzz on that challenge. Sleppy was there.
And I'm looking at this play from the Zips, and everyone on Akron's got boosts, and everyone on the Buckeyes has nothing. They're just watching Akron fly across the sky and rip shots. It's why Buzz took the pot shot on net. He knew they were low on resources and tried to force a tough save and slowly drain whatever's left of the Buckeyes boost. But the attack's still on now for the Zips.
Oh, and just staying real close right now is Buzz. He got the boost tail as well on the other end, allows Salty Popsicle to move right back in. Off there on the line, saved for now. Reticence, that shot just wide, pulls a defender out. Masseter gets another good touch onto the ball, keeps it close to him, and now Ohio State bailed out because of the play.
Great clear hit there from Masseter as Ohio State now really trying to break out. They've been feeling a lot of pain from the Zips. Still a tie game here with 20 seconds left. Now a fight in the midfield. Someone trying to gain control here is Buzz on the attack, but he can't get a hold of the ball. So for Ohio State, they regain possession.
Reticence up high. It's a double commit, huge from the Buckeyes. Maybe Akron if they can get a solid touch here. Here's Buzz over to Salty Popsicle. It's one man to beat the shots. Not even close. We got OT.
And I'm not surprised to see OT here in game number 2. Ohio State really started to figure themselves out. They cleaned up the defense, no more mechanical errors, and they did convert on a fantastic passing play at the top of the box on the Akron side. But they have been feeling a lot more pressure from the Zips. Can they adapt here in overtime?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, is Akron have really picked up the speed. That one off the post. Salty Popsicle puts it to the other corner. And the Zips Gold take a 2-0 lead in the series. They up.
And you feel like when you look at this game as a whole, especially in the latter half, Akron really started to get going on offense. They took away the resources from the Buckeyes, and they were just peppering the back wall. Nobody home from Ohio State. Finally, into overtime, Akron able to find the back of the net. Don't hit a post, don't hit high, and not in front of a defender, and they take game 2.
I have such respect for the grit, gumption, and daring we're seeing out of Ohio State right now. The second game, especially towards the back couple of minutes, was the first time in this series where we've seen the offensive onslaught happen from Akron. And to the credit of Ohio State, they hang on and force out the overtime. So I hope, even though they're down 2 and it's best of 5, I hope that they go into game number 3 feeling like we can still very much win this series. We were able to find some offensive goals. We just got to keep playing at this level.
And it's the attack that we expect from the Zips. It's what we saw last season, and you can see the changes that they made. It's no longer just Buzz sitting upfield waiting for the clears to make things happen. And while it did work last season, of course, they went to land. Players get better and better. New teams come in. You've got to adapt. And I think the play style that they're showing here is a much more consistent and conservative play style that allows them to take down teams like Ohio State comfortably.
And I was impressed that Akron were able to wake up just in the middle of game 2 because the Buckeyes weren't giving up as much on the defensive end, weren't sending the house every time they had an opportunity on net, and were forcing Akron to really it was a real battle of attrition in the middle of the field. And when Akron finally took control, you saw that pace of play really uptick for them. They finally got back into that flow. If that continues here into game 3, Akron may take the series.
Game number 3, Akron taking on the B team from The Ohio State. Let's see if we're going to see game number 4, or if Akron is going to get on the scoreboard right away.
Yeah, Akron get advantage right off the kickoff. It's a good follow-up from Reticence on that kickoff. Not a good touch from the setter, and Buzz just puts a great shot to the crossbar, and that's really all you can write home about it.
It's a tough shot to save coming off the crossbar as well. You think it's high, but it comes and gets that bounce down into your net. With Akron on the board first, it's going to be a tough road here for the Buckeyes.
Just pinched across. Salty Popsicle picks this up, has one man to beat, actually goes under, didn't get the flick on it. And the ball just rolls up. That's another shot just wide. Buzz, that's a great touch from Buzz, and he picks up that little dime that gave him a little more juice. Take the shot out. Up again is Buzz, looking for Reticence, and well, after the latter half of game 2, Akron have taken complete control.
And this is, again, the offense that we expect coming out from the Zips, this kind of suffocating onslaught onto your net. Ohio State have not really adapted well in games 2, and now into game 3, you're seeing more of the same. Reticence and Salty Popsicle got a lot to choose from. He's trying to go with the mind game, doesn't pay off here, and the Buckeyes get out.
And the setter carrying it close to him. He's over Buzz, looking to try to get over another. He can't do it. Over Salty Popsicle, excuse me, and a bump as well, but Reticence able to clean it up. Buzz almost a dunk as well. That's a big miss here. Allows the Buckeyes to at least try to move it in, but Sleppy had kind of jumped from way back, even though he had the space afforded to him. And so the Buckeyes maybe feeling a little bit of pressure here at the start of game 3, knowing that they have no more buffer games left. And that's a good clear out, forces Buzz back to make a touch, and he's able to get a light one. Don't think it would have mattered on the rebound anyway. No one on the Buckeyes were really pressuring it.
And more of the same from Akron here. The Buckeyes still trying to break out from their own end. A lot of these clears going straight to an Akron player. The setter, low boost here, just trying to flick it past one. 2 go for the Zips. Keeping that offense going, trying to get the bump. The shot just wide from Reticence here. The Buckeyes just fighting to stay afloat right now.
And Buzz going for that demo right there. He doesn't have to get the demo. He just has to make the guy think that he's going to hit him, and that's exactly what happened. You force the challenge early from the Buckeyes on the defensive end, which forces that whiff, because if that ball's hit, you're talking about a Buckeyes goal in a tie game. Instead, it's still 1-0 here for Akron. It's like, yes, they double committed on the play, but Buzz really made the most of it and made it a net neutral at the very least for Akron. And halfway through, Salty Popsicle, he's looking for Buzz. Little too much amp on the pass, and Reticence booms it back downfield. And again, on the defensive end here for the Buckeyes, Masseter wasn't able to find a solid touch out. The boost really just hasn't been in their favor, and if Salty Popsicle wins challenges like that, what a save from the setter to keep the Buckeyes within 1.
And Akron's just poaching the edge of the field right now. A lot of these clears coming straight to a Zips player. And the resource game has really hurt the Buckeyes as well. You can see every time we switch to one of these players, they really don't have much boost. I think Sunnyside just got his corner boost there, but 62 boosts here from a setter as well, and they're just getting suffocated.
And even when they did have boost right there, you saw Masseter, he just ended up missing the ball, and give credit to Akron's pressure. When you feel like that pressure is always coming with the way Akron have been playing, and I mean, this is a shot bouncing off the post for Reticence. Salty Popsicle looking back to Reticence. He wins that challenge, but Sleppy high out. He found Sunnyside, back over to Sleppy. That's a good T play for the Buckeyes, teeing it up. But Buzz is there to take away the option from Masseter. You know he felt Masseter hunting closely to that ball. Minute 20 left, guys, and still no goal for the Buckeyes.
Ohio State have been in a stranglehold for the majority of this game from this offensive pressure, but it just makes me think as every second ticks past, that one goal right at the beginning of the game, it could very well define this whole series.
Well, and here's the thing for Ohio State. They're still down by just one goal. They could get a good breakaway, a good counterattack on Akron, which we just saw about 30 seconds ago. This could be another one here as Reticence is going to put this one to his corner, which lets Sunnyside go up, but a big miss from him slows down the attack. And it's just salty pops. So we get past one is Sleppy. But again, the cross not coming through and no one to follow up for the Buckeyes. Another opportunity here, Reticence to clear it away. 2 go for Akron, but it's a great clear out to the side, and Sleppy can't get a hold of it.
And again, yeah, the only second time we've seen Akron double commit, and it's either a clear or an attempted demo that bails them out of that mistake. Akron can do no wrong right now, it feels like. 30 seconds left. Masseter going for the double touch. He's got it! And the goal! What a play for Masseter to keep the Buckeyes in it!
Fantastic touch coming out from Masseter, and it's the spark they need in a Game 3, an elimination game here against Akron. You dunk it down in front of their face, and with 25 seconds left, you find the equalizer.
I can hear Kings and the rest of Ohio State 8 cheering from here. 25 seconds left. You even enough to go into overtime and potentially game number 4. The Ohio State University, they are not done yet.
The shot of adrenaline they needed to stay alive in the series. Can they close it out in regulation? The Buckeyes, Sunnyside, looking for the shot, but Reticence headed the other way. Gonna take his own shot, wide of the net, and it's headed back as time expires. Masseter cannot find it.
No.
It's a wide open
He's
net.
there.
And with 0 seconds left, Akron sweep Ohio State in the most disheartening stab in the back way possible. Buzz finishes it for Akron, and they move on.
Oh, it hurts to see for Ohio State. They had everything going for them. They had the adrenaline. They had the last second goal with 25 seconds left. A great double tap from Masseter. And Akron come through and spoil it and take a 3-0 win.
There are daggers, and then there are daggers. And when the
Machine
goal goes
guns.
when the goal goes in at 0 seconds after you finally claw your way back into the game, that is tough. And in this format, when it's single elimination, it's a show of where you are, not necessarily where you can be. So even if you do go out in this fashion for that team, they have a lot to feel good about. They definitely gave Akron a run for their money. It's just Akron is still Akron.
And you feel like you look back at this series and game number 1 for Ohio State, they really should have had that one in the bag with all the offensive pressure, with all the shots coming through, the missed opportunity, and of course the own goal. You look back at game number 1, and that could have been the series changer for the Buckeyes.
It really should have been the Buckeyes game. It does really go the whole way back to game 1 for this team, and when they finally did figure things out, Akron also were able to adapt to the issues that they had in game 1, and you didn't see that nearly as much in games 2 and 3. They were able to keep their own end locked down. There weren't those questionable shots that were allowed off the post, off the backboard for the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes had to force every chance after game 1. So yeah, absolutely, Corelli.
The most interesting thing about me for this series is we see Akron earlier on. They just run the table the entire series. In this game, it's 3-0 also, but they're certainly challenged more. And the difference in their performances, their accuracy overall goes down when they are challenged. So if I'm a team looking to face them down in the bracket, I'm looking at that and I'm like, maybe if I'm aggressive, we can see some further inaccuracies. But they do move forward in the bracket. Let's take a look at that. Akron, still the number 1 seed, still strong. They now await the winners of Waterloo and Nebraska.
And for Akron, really all eyes are on them here in the Northern Conference. I'd say the eyes are shared with UIUC, but Akron was the one who took them down last season. So for Akron, it's about being that number 1 seed. It's about being the last team with LAN experience and kind of keeping that fall semester guard going for those teams. And for Akron, so far, 3-0 win over Whitewater, 3-0 win over Ohio State B, awaiting Waterloo and Nebraska. They got to be feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the biggest question we had, it was, okay, post game 1, how do you respond? And they responded thusly, and that's what I wanted to see out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think that, that was the first real test that we saw for Akron, and I think after game number 1, it kind of just receded back into their court for a while. So I think that they'll be tested again, really no matter who comes out of Waterloo, Nebraska. I think Nebraska have shown pretty strong. If Nebraska beats Waterloo, then they're definitely going to be someone to look out for against Akron.
I want to see what you guys had to say on the Twitch poll. I'm pretty sure Akron
They changed.
does come away with the overall percentage.
If you yell at them enough,
47.
they listen. Yeah.
They were like, okay, Jorby, you're right. Okay.
They don't.
all right,
They don't. No, they
let's
don't
start.
say that. They don't say that.
Jorby pointed it out earlier. He's like, why is no one voting for Akron? As he was making a point, I saw the Twitch polls just slowly go towards Akron.
We got another tweet from you guys. Let's see what else you had to say. That one kid, Taryn, who do you think is the nicest CRL player of all time?
The nicest CRL player?
I'm not sure, but it has to be from Utah Valley.
Honestly, Tennis Master is like one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
Actually,
he's super nice, and I have to go with Tennis Master.
I
He's
think-
the only man who will just completely clap you in ping pong with a giant smile on his face, and you can't get tilted. Like I think I lost like 12-3, like before I was done, and I was like, sorry man, I can't do it. You're too good. He's like, nah man, it's okay, it was good, and I was like, I can't be mad at you, dude.
He's right. I think it's a close race between him and Fire.
For me, it's
kidding.
anyone from Utah Valley. Like, everyone we spoke to on that team, like, they were the only team I was like, do we have a bunch of smiles in the chat? Because, like, whenever they score a goal, I want to see a bunch of smiley faces from them. Great question. There are no shortage of personalities here at CRL. What else do you guys have to say? Use hashtag CRL19 to send us your questions and your predictions, as difficult as that might be. We'll take a short break. One more match ahead. Don't go anywhere.